Hey, we're live. Welcome to our July 8th live session of Cellercise. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July. I want to thank all the veterans who are part of the Cellercise family too, and all the work you've done on behalf of all of us so that we can maintain our freedoms. You've made a lot of sacrifices, and sometimes it's not appreciated enough. But we do appreciate it here at Cellercise. So we're looking forward to sharing my routine a little bit more. We've had several questions of people asking, well, what do you do specifically? What do you do specifically? We're going to talk about that. But I want to ask, and everybody can hear all right today, I hope? Is everybody hearing good? All right. All of you who Cellercise should now be feeling healthier, stronger, feeling better, having more energy. The movement up and down on the Cellerciser opens up capillaries, opens up circulation, changes blood chemistry. You should be feeling it, and I'd love to share it with others, share it with those people that you feel good about. We've got some testimonials I'm going to read and some questions that I'm going to answer, and then what I'm going to do is share with you some of my routine. And people often ask, they say, why don't I get sore when I Cellercise? Is it really working? And the answer is absolutely it is. The Cellerciser is weight bearing, and cells, again, they don't care where the increase of weight comes from. You can lift weight away from gravity, or you can increase the weight of gravity. It doesn't matter to the cell. The cell is going to have to respond to the increase of weight. The advantage of increasing the weight of gravity instead of lifting weight away from gravity is we don't limit the effect. Again, it's on every single cell membrane. And I'm going to share with you some of the testimonials of people who've been actually working with us and working on the Cellerciser for many years. So, Christine,
right.
If we can have some of those. Thank you. All right. This one reads, I met David back in the 90s when he came to LA to discuss possible marketing solutions with my company, and I'm not going to mention his company, but he was extremely fit even then, and all he did was use his Rebounder design daily. I was completely impressed with him and had several long and involved chats about the theory behind the product, etc. That all made perfect sense. Now it's 2018, so we're talking over 20 years later. And I still have the Rebounder he gave me back then. It was so well built that it held up over all those years, ! Anyway, I just want folks to know that he's the real deal and not a pitch man. And it's true. We attempted to get him into the infomercial market, but the CEO of the firm we worked with tried to get David to compromise on the product quality. He wouldn't budge, even though he stood to make a fortune if he did. I'm really happy to see that he continued with his mission. My hat is off to him. Thank you, and thanks for that support. I may have read that one before. Here's another one. I talked with you this morning about my Cellerciser I bought from your company approximately 10 to 11 years ago. I'm still using it in the morning and most evenings. I went through 5 Sports Authority mini trampolines within about a 6-month period, breaking the springs before I found your website and bought the Cellerciser from your company. Thanks for describing how to oil it. Thanks, John from Alaska. Thank you, John. And Suezmu, thank you. I did a lot of research to figure out which mini trampoline rebounder was the best for me and came up with the Cellerciser. What a great piece of equipment. I had a very cheap mini trampoline rebounder that was poorly made, springs kept breaking, seams were poorly sewn, and it was very, very noisy. I thought it was okay until I tried the Cellerciser. I tried to do things on a budget, but decided it was worth it to spend the money on the Cellerciser. And I know it's an investment, but it should be a one-time investment for a lifetime of benefit if it's with a good company. I have not been disappointed. The Cellerciser has a better feel and bounce to it, and it's more stable. It is very quiet, and overall I feel better after I use it. I think that the spring design must be the reason for the great results. I'm feeling better physically, and my outlook is more positive. I think I will contact the company itself because I'm so impressed with the Cellerciser. I think that the investment of a few $100s now could save me thousands of dollars in the future. Thank you very much. Is that one more? Mm-hmm. Okay. Ooh, according to my Fitbit, my heart rate has improved to very good and excellent for my age, etc. When I first bought it a couple of years ago, it was fair to average. Then it moved to average to good. Now, after following Dave and Christine since about March, I am nearly at excellent. I turned 50 a couple weeks ago. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Grace. So again, you may not be seeing the results, but there are definite results occurring within the body. Many of you are seeing results. Some of you may be getting discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Stay on the path. Keep working on it. You play on it. Don't work on it. You keep playing on it. It'll work on you. It has no option. It has to do that. And if you have questions, go ahead and give me a call. I appreciate all the success stories as well. There's been so many of them. But my heart goes out to those who might be a little frustrated because Cellercise is working. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to improve some of that intensity again and get some of those results that many of you are still looking for. So Christine, yes.
Okay.
Come on in.
All right. Okay.
Christine's been at camp. So she just ran down from the mountain with her girls, or without her girls. She left her girls, came down so that she could be part of our program. So thank you.
Okay. What's the situation on finding a distributor in Europe to reduce the shipping costs? I have money now to buy, but I can't afford the shipping.
Okay, if anybody knows anybody, we've got a fantastic, literal business opportunity. We're looking for some distributors that we can work with in Europe right now, and we have interest. So we should be soon finding somebody who has some investment capital and some marketing experience that I can support and that we can work with at helping to get the Cellerciser all over Europe and different areas of the world. Currently, we ship larger supplies to Australia, so we've got a distributor there. But some of the other European areas, we still have not found a qualified and capable or inspired distributor to work with yet in Europe. So that's a great business opportunity. If you want more information, please give me a call.
All right. Okay. I have your DVDs and the app. Oh, we're going to go into this one, so we're going to skip that one. We'll leave that one into your other one. I apologize.
Okay. That's fine.
I have endometriosis and get great pain relief when I bounce. Friends keep telling me I should not bounce as I have adhesions. They also say I should never bounce when I'm on my period. I disagree as I find it so helpful. I would like your opinion, please.
It's more of a medical question, so again, I have to caution, check with your doctor. But one of the things, and this is very common for women, all kinds of conditions, whether it's menstrual or whether it's going through menopause, Cellercise can help alleviate a lot of the discomfort because it opens up circulatory channels so that the body can circulate more efficiently. It can help break up blockages. And when the body is circulating more efficiently, it can perform more efficiently. Now, if there are other issues, like blood clotting and things like that, you definitely want to consult with your doctor or make sure the doctor knows that you're involved with Cellercise, because the movement up and down on the Cellerciser helps to prevent blood clots. It helps to open up the circulation. But if you have a blood clot, it can also break those blood clots loose. And in that kind of a situation, you want to be more careful. The good thing about it, though, again, it's not jarring. It's not damaging. It's pumping. It's opening up the circulation. And again, I think constantly, if everybody understood the benefits of what Cellercise does to their blood chemistry in the morning every day when they wake up, every household would have to have one of these, because how you feel and how you perform has a lot to do with how your body is functioning. And the Cellerciser just opens everything up. The movement up and down increases oxygen blood flow to the brain. It opens up capillaries. It helps prevent sticky blood cells by breaking the blood cells apart, oxygenating the body. There's an enormous amount of benefits, including the weight-bearing activities that we can do. So.
Okay. So that's our last question. So
right.
the final question was,
okay.
Show me your routine. Tell me what you're doing, and we get that often, so I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Um, people ask me, how come you don't get sore when you Cellercise? And again, you're not tearing down to build up. The movement up and down is increasing circulation, and it's getting rid of lactic acid, if there is any lactic acid buildup, very quickly. So in any routine, priming the body first is very important. In any sports and athletic activity, we can improve overall athletic performance in anything if we Cellercise first, because we're literally treating the body collectively as a whole, not as parts. And as we do it as a whole, the body as a whole becomes stronger and more efficient. So we begin with the gentle baby bounce, just like this, and I do the same thing. Think about what you want to accomplish during the day. If you have a physical objective that you want to accomplish, whether it's weight loss, whether it's a condition or a knee problem, or if it's an illness, which we talked about a little bit last week, see light in that area. Take this moment to connect with God and thank Him for the day. Start showing an attitude of gratitude while you're bouncing, because the movement up and down challenges brain activity and can leave a stronger chemical impression on the brain as you're moving up and down, so that you can retain. I mean, we're the people, we need to take charge of how we feel and how we perform. And we can do that. And we exercise a little faith, we exercise the belief that we can be the person that we want to be and be able to see that. So visualize that. I feel healthy, I feel happy, I feel terrific. Every area of my body is performing more and more efficiently. I see my knees as being filled with light. The ligaments and the tendons are getting stronger. They're supporting the joint. I'm getting more circulation between the joint. My lymphatic system, my immune system is sucking and vacuuming out the internal environment of the body, and it's opening up, and I'm feeling better. So things like that. Develop your affirmations and then say them out loud. Proclaim it. Proclaim it. It doesn't matter whether you truly believe in it now or not. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference. And so as we start to proclaim these things, our body responds to what we say, think, and do, and how we feel. So feel terrific and say it, even whether you do or don't. Start saying it, start living it, start believing it, and do it while you're Cellercising, because of the impact that has at a cellular level. So I'll do my gentle movement up and down. And then after this I used to do 2 minutes. I might do a minute now. But take that time depending on what you want to accomplish. Do the gentle twist. This is a wake-up call for your digestion, your elimination, the liver, kidney, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, the adrenals, lower back. So this is just a really, you can move your head around a little bit, hold on to the balance bar so you don't get dizzy and fall off. But it's just, again, we're moving fluid through all these different areas of the body. It's part of the routine. Moving up and down alone will help to do that. But that just, I think, improves the efficiency. Then what I do is I'll start my running in place. Now, sometimes if I don't have a lot of time, I'll go very, very fast, and I'll count, or I'll watch. This is what I do. There's a app that I put on my computer and on my cell phone that is a stopwatch. And the one I have, I think it has a blue or a green and a red arrow, but I will have my computer setting aside, and when I start my program, because I want to make sure I do my 10 minutes, I hit the start button, and then I watch the countdown or the count up. And what I do is then if I'm counting 60 seconds for 1 minute and I want to sprint, I will run really, really fast for a minute and see how many I can do in that minute. So that would be the aerobic activity. And it's like this. And I go for about a minute, and when I'm done, I feel it. When I get toward the end, that's when I might slow down a little bit, depending. But I want to see how many I can do. If I'm doing it for a longer period of time, then I'll continue to jog, but I'll just jog a little easier, lifting my knees up, so you're working the core, the stomach. Then I work on my core and my stomach. And so having the balance bar to hold on to gives you more confidence, so you can put more effort into the routine without worrying about falling off, so you get better results. So I usually turn to the side, hold on to the balance bar, tilt backwards, and I just do my front kicks. If I want to work underneath the chin a little bit, I tilt my head back some. Holding on to the bar makes it easier. And every time I come down, I leverage the weight. I'll do that generally to the count of about, don't start off doing what I do, but I'll usually do it to about count of 100. And then I work on the waist and the hips. Same thing. I usually turn toward the balance bar, hold on to it now, and I just kick out side to side. And every time I come down, if I lean slightly with the bounce, just slightly lean, I feel this working more than if I just kick my legs out side to side. So that's a little secret. So again, that works the obliques and the hips. And then I count to 100. So every time that it comes out, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up. And then for the lower back and the buttocks, I do the same thing. And I often, on this one, I'll bring the shoulders into play. So when you're starting, you can hold on to that balance bar. Then by kicking my leg, or I do this here, which is really simple, but very effective for the shoulders as well. And then after that, I'll do the hips, inner outer thigh, both sides of the knee. I stand on one side of the mat, step across to the other side, and I just go side to side. And as I'm doing this, I'll count. Usually on this one, I don't go to 100. I'll go to 51, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when I'm done with that, you can then count 50 of doing it with your feet together. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the neat thing is with our new app, you can take all of these movements and you can put the number of and the length of time you want to do each one of those movements. So you can literally create my routine, your own routine. You can add, take away. That all works. And then when I'm done, I end up just gently loosening everything up. And that's what I do in place of just the baby bounce. But this is fine too. And then I'm done. Now, whoops, sorry, Christine. If I want to focus on something for the day, and there's times I want to do that. If I want to work on the knees, which I've been working on lately because I injured that one doing something crazy a few weeks ago. But keep your back straight, feet flat, and just push down into the mat. So the Jamba Run, if you want to keep your back straight, feet flat. That one, let me tell you about that. Let's talk about that for a minute. That Jamba Run, I think that's an incredible movement for people who want to lose weight and want to help move the body toward ketosis. Because when you do the Jamba Run, and for those who don't know what ketosis is, it's a state that the body gets into where it is fed off of, it's depleted most of the sugars, the natural occurring sugars in the bloodstream, and now it's looking for more fuel, and that's the fat, the white adipose tissue. Well, when you do the Jamba Run, those muscles are big, and they need a lot of fuel. And so you do repetitions of it, you eat up the glucose and the sugars very quickly. Now, as you continue to do repetitions of it, there is no more glucose or sugars. It's been depleted. So now the body needs more fuel. It starts to feed off the white adipose tissue or the fat. So we do repetitions of it. Every time we're doing it, the body needs to get used to burning and looking for that additional fuel. So I think it's one of the greatest movements that we can do for weight loss. And of course, you've heard about the women who've gotten rid of their cellulite, doing repetitions of that, where doctors have said they believe that it was so intense it can grow new capillaries. So that's another benefit of that movement. And if you want to work on the arms, and I'll do this occasionally, may do this tonight. I will count what I do. Again, and you can start off with just 20. I mean, 20 is plenty. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. So you're pulling up and pushing down. If you're doing it right, you're going to feel it in the front part of the arm, and you're going to feel it in the back part of the arm. And that's all I do for my arms. It's simple. You don't need any special equipment, but that's a good routine. Next week I'll share with you some other ideas on some other techniques that we can do as well. But
okay, we had a couple questions that came across.
Sure, we got some questions.
Let me get in here really quick and find them for us. Okay, let's see.
And I hope some of you have tried to do this at nighttime when you're getting ready for bed. Is you get on that Cellerciser and just gently move up and down, relax, shoulders, back, buttocks. Just relax everything and just feel the movement inside the body. And feel how that feels as you get rid of the stress and tension of the day. And you do that for a few minutes and then go directly to bed. Do it just before you're ready to go to bed. And then just see how that feels and share it with us. We've had some great responses on that. So.
Okay. So it says, I'm starting week 3 in the user guide. What is the strength bounce? Also, what is the core calisthenics?
The calisthenics are any of those movements that I demonstrated where you alter the angle of the body in different positions to create leverage so you can focus on certain areas of the body. But unlike typical calisthenic movements, even though you're focusing on that area of the body through the G forces created, it's not limiting the effect to those areas of the body. This is one of the advantages that we have over average people who do typical type exercise movements, in that when you exercise in an altered position, you then become strong in an altered position. And most people don't do that. And so I was talking to a lady today who does horseback riding. And she was telling me how beneficial the Cellerciser has been, because when they're doing their barrel chasing or racing, that they're having to move these different directions, and the Cellerciser has made it easier for them to be able to do that. Well, that's because you're strong in an altered position. But you can apply that to anything. And when you have that slight advantage, it can make a big difference in your overall performance.
Okay. So you had mentioned the app, and they're wanting to know how to make an account.
Okay. Let's talk about the app. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you who have really hung in there with us. The app is up and running now for those people who are part of the first phase or group. The response to the app was overwhelming. It was so big that it overloaded our servers, and the whole thing crashed. We had to create new servers or go to a dedicated server with more capacity to be able to handle the traffic. So we're going to close off the group for the time being with those that currently have the app. and we're working to service them, to learn from them, to have them share with us what their experience has been with the app so that we can make modifications. And then it'll probably be a little bit of time, and then we will reopen that app again to allow others to join, and we'll make that announcement when we can. So again, good for those who got the app when you did. Please understand we're not trying to purposely withhold the app. We simply want to make sure that we're doing a good service for those who currently have invested in it, so that when we make it available to those who want to invest in it in the future, that they're going to have a better and quality product that's going to continue to work for them. So thank you for your understanding on that, and thank you for your patience, and we'll work on that as quickly as we can, and we are.
I'm just going to make a couple quick comments.
Sure.
Really quick. So Anna's just asked on this. Anna, I'll reach out to you on that, and we'll take care of that. So don't think that we're going to neglect your question that you have on there. She had just she purchased it when it first released, but just waited to install it. So we just need to help get her logins. So Anna, we'll go ahead and take care of that.
Oh yeah, if you purchased it, that's right. Anybody who's purchased the app who's having trouble with it, if you are, let us know. Some of you, we've had to reset your login name and password so that it would work with the updated system. But for the rest of you, you should have access to it. I know most of you do because I've talked to you, and I've had some great comments, and thank you. And we're going to continue to work at getting all the little bugs taken care of so that the rest of everybody can enjoy and have a good experience with it too.
Okay. There was a few that wanted to see you so desperately do that Jamba Run again. So if you want to take it slow and show them the demo again really quick.
Sure. All right. Now I'm going to do the Jamba Walk first. The Jamba Walk in and of itself is very intense and also very effective. And often people who are dealing with weight loss issues, they may have knee issues as well because they're carrying more weight, or they may have hip issues. Our objective is to strengthen the supporting muscles and ligaments around the joint first so that we can then get to the Jamba Run, but we want to do it where it's as comfortable and effective as we possibly can. So the Jamba Walk is done by keeping the back straight, the feet flat. Feet are close to shoulder distance. You bend at the knee. It's a horse stance, which puts the weight on the thighs and puts the stress on the supporting muscles and ligaments around the knee. The neat thing about it is it's not jarring, so it's not damaging on the joints. It's strengthening the ligaments and the tendons and supporting tissue. So as we keep our back straight and our feet flat, we push down into the mat. Our feet come up, but they don't come up off the mat. So we're pushing down into the mat. And as we're doing that, we're working the thighs and the knees. And it works them. You'll feel that. The Jamba Run is done the same way, but instead of lifting the feet up off, well, you're still not lifting the feet up off the mat. You're running as fast as you can, pushing down into the mat. And so it takes a little practice sometimes to get the coordination and the feel. But I guarantee you, even with me.
Turn sideways.
Sideways. All right.
That's what they're asking.
That's what they want to see sideways. Okay. All right. Keeping your back straight and your feet flat, you're going to run as fast as you can without leaning forward. When you lean forward, it takes the weight off the thigh, puts it on the back. Your back's not doing anything. It's not working. It's just holding you up. So we want to keep it over the thighs and the knees. And pretend I'm holding onto the balance bar. You just do it like this. And in about 20 seconds, I can pretty much guarantee most people are going to feel that burn.
Oh, in less than 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You get 20 seconds. We all get 5 to 10, and then we're dying.
It really is effective. And doing repetitions of it, very effective as well.
Okay, so that seems to be all the questions for this evening. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, thank you for taking the time to
no
join us
problem.
tonight. And I want to encourage everybody, you all know somebody that's dealing with a health issue, a knee problem, a hip problem, a back problem, weight loss issues, stress issues, digestion elimination issues, balance coordination issues. We want to encourage them, try the Cellerciser. It's got a 30-day money-back guarantee, but try it and see if it doesn't offer them benefit. The objective here isn't to sell you a Cellerciser. The objective is to help you get results. We all have a better quality of life. And as I've explained in the past many times, in our society, in our culture today, we've come to think of the idea that health is simply an absence of illness. And we live that way. And it's sad because health has a much greater potential for each one of us. And part of my job, and I'll be sharing this in a future DVD, and we'll put it online, is to help people understand some of the additional steps we can take to reach that greater health potential. Cellercise is a part of it. It's a big part of it. It's probably the most important part. Obviously, diet is important, and I suggest people eat as much of the live foods as they can, because I know we all eat dead processed foods. But the live foods, they have I call it a spirituality. They're alive. When you pray over your food, connect with it, communicate with it. There's intelligences there. We know that. It's been measured. You can sing to a plant, and the plant will respond, and they know that. So when you're praying over your food, be grateful for the intelligences within that food. And when you accept it into your body, be grateful that those intelligences can help strengthen and nourish and provide your body with what it needs. So making that connection, if you say a blessing over your food, which I really encourage, make that connection and see how you feel, and see what we can do to help you move toward reaching your greater health potential. All of us who Cellercise know you don't have to work out when you play in. And that's what we want to encourage people more and more to do, is play on the Cellerciser. Have fun on it. Let it work on you. Thank you again. We'll see you next week.